Welcome back to part 2 of Module 10, Lesson 3, where we're looking at measures of center, also known as measures of central tendency. Now, when we left off, we had completed the resource 7, where we looked at Alex's 6-day trip, where he took an average of 11 pictures a day. Does that ring a bell to you? And my intention was for us to work together on example 2 and then give you example 2, extra example 2 for your next assignment. But when I looked at example 2, what does it say? Right there, Alex took her phone for pictures, for photos, whatever, 6 days. It's the same exact problem. And since that's the same exact problem, we're just going to skip it and go straight into extra example 2, where you're going to pause the video and you're going to solve this using Big Kid Math formulas, just like I showed you, that said mean is equal to the sum of the data values divided by the number of data values. Go ahead and work on that now. So for this problem, Usamu earned 18, 22, 20, and 24 out of a possible 25 points on each of his first 4 quizzes. Now, I do want to point out something here. This 25 that they give you, that is a distractor. This 25 is not part of your data set. That says out of a possible 25, not that he earned a 25. Go back to the question. It continues asking, what score does Usamu need to earn on his 5th quiz to have a mean score or an average score of 20? That would be a 20 out of 25, which also is known as an 80%. Usamu doesn't have a site set very high here. But let's take a look at this anyhow. We're going to take and go ahead, and you can see I've set up my formula. The mean is equal to the sum of the data divided by the number of data. So the mean was a 20 they gave us right here. Put that in right there. And then the data we had was an 18, a 22, a 20, and a 24 plus x, all divided by the number of data pieces, which is going to end up being 5. The next thing I'm going to do is add up these values on top. So it's going to give me 20 is equal to 18 plus 22 is 40, plus 20 is 60, plus 24 is going to be an 84 plus x divided by 5. Now we're going to take and isolate the variable, work towards isolating the variable by going after that plus 5. I'm going to bring my work to the side here, separating it with a line so it stays neat and organized. And I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. Now I got my 84 plus x divided by 5. That's going to go in parentheses, and then we're going to multiply everything times 5 with these 5's dividing each other out. That leaves me on the left, 20 plus 5 is 100, is equal to 84 plus x. Now that all that's left is to undo addition and subtraction by subtracting 84 from both sides, just like that. These 84s zero out, leaving x is equal to 16 for your final answer. Now I know that's not really exactly how they showed their example in the textbook, but that's a really good Big Kid algebraic way to solve these problems. Jump back over to our textbook here, put in the 16 points that he needs to get that low average he's shooting for of an 80, and we're done. Easy math. Our next measure of central tendency, or measure of center, that we're going to look at is median. And the median is defined as the middle value when the data value are arranged from least to greatest. It also applies when they're arranged from greatest to least. We talked about that earlier. If there is an odd number of data values, the median is going to be the single middle data value. However, if there's an even number of data values, you're going to have to average the 2 middle values in order to find out what the true median is. Let's take a look at what we're talking about here. Consider the following set of data, which represents the ages of the participants in a board game club. And you've got all these here. They've actually went ahead and listed them in order from least to greatest, making it real simple for you. There are 13 data values. Since the number of data values is odd, your median is going to be the middle data value. Make sure the data is ordered from least to greatest when you're finding the median. So from here, we're going to click on some buttons. This button here says that there are 6 data values that are going to be below the median. There are 6 data values that are going to be above the median, and the one slap dab in the middle, that's going to be your median data value with 10. These are super simple to find. All you have to do is put them in order from least to greatest, count out how many data values you have, and find the middle one, and you're done. Now for example 3, they said between 2009 and 2015, the number of Atlantic hurricanes each year were 3, 12, 7, 10, 2, 6, and 4. And it wants to find the median or the middle data value. To take a look at that, we're going to take and start off by arranging those data sets in order from least to greatest. So I have a 2, a 3, a 4, a 6, a 7, a 10, and a 12. So there my data values are from least to greatest. There are 7 data values. That's an odd number. That means you only have to pick the one middle data value, and that one middle data value is going to end up being your median. And of course for this one, our median was going to see how many data values are going to be below it. Well, there's going to be 3 below the median. There's going to be 3 data values above the median. And check that. That checks. And then the median is going to be 6, our middle data value. Super easy math. And once again, it's going to be your turn. Pause the video and work on extra example 3 on your own. Now for this question, we're looking at the number of stories in tall buildings in a certain city. And we're going to start off by ordering our values from least to greatest, which means that I want to take and mark them off as I do them so I don't get confused. First one is going to be 17, and then I have an 18 right here. After my 18, it looks like it's going to be a 20. And I got another 20 right there. That's going to be 4 data values. My 5th data value is going to be a 21. And I have another 21 right here. And then I have 2 23s. So I'm going to do 23 and 23. And then I have a 24 right there, and that makes up all my data values. Now I'm going to count my data values out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's an odd number. That means that the 5th data number, that's going to be my median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my median. You notice that I have 4 values above it. I have 4 values below it. But my median itself, that's going to equal to 21. Jump back over to our textbook page, and when we do, we're going to put in that 21, check it, we get a happy sound. Everything is just rosy here, isn't it? But what if they gave us a data set that had an even number of data values? Well, let's take a look at this video with monkeys in it and see what they have to say.
Suppose a zookeeper wants to find the number of monkeys in the zoo in order to monitor the living conditions at different facilities. The zookeeper could look into 10 different zoos and record the number of monkeys in each. The number of monkeys in each zoo ranges from 12 to 42 monkeys. The zookeeper wants to use the median to report the measure of center for the typical number of monkeys in a zoo. What value best represents the measure of center?
Well, they didn't even teach us. They just talked about a bunch of monkeys in the zoo. Let's see what we're going to get to do from there, because you know that was pretty disappointed. I wanted to see more exciting things with monkeys here. Moving forward, there are 10 data values, and because the data values are even, the median is going to be the mean or the average of the 2 middle values. So let me take and just highlight that right there. And that looks kind of important. The first thing we need to do is we need to take and rearrange them in order from least to greatest, with 12 being the least number of monkeys. And we had 42 was the most monkeys. After 12, there was going to be 16, and then 18, and then another 18. Then we have a 25, we have a 27, we have a 30, we have a 34, and we have a 36 monkeys. From there, that part checks. Now we need to take and pick the 2 middle values and average them. The 2 middle values were going to be 25 and 27, and we of course got that if you went back and looked at the data set we created here. These 2 values, 25 and 27, are the 2 that are in the middle. So we're going to average them by adding them together and then dividing by 2. 25 plus 27 is 52. 52 divided by 2, that's going to give us 26. Check it, and it checks. It's really that easy to solve these problems. Now it's going to be your turn. Pause the video, work our last problem, extra example 2, and see if you can find the right answer. Now for this problem, we're talking about Tara, who spent those different amounts of money on school lunches over the last 8 months. I'm thinking that's a lot of money to spend on school lunch, but hey, maybe that's just me. I usually eat a frozen burrito, which costs, I don't know, about 50 cents a piece, and that's my lunch every day. So let's take and start off by sorting our data from least to greatest. And in doing that, our least data value is going to be 5. So I'm going to put 5. That was her skinny month. And then after 5, it jumped all the way up to 40. And then from 40, we ended up going to 42 right here. From 42, she's got 46 right here. And then after 46, she went to 50. After 50, she did 55. After 55, she did 56. And then after 56, she did 62. Now, there's a total of 8 data values. So it means I have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, and the actual middle takes place right here. So I need to average 46 and 50 to get to my final median. I'm going to use a formula that says the median is equal to 46 plus 50 divided by 2, which means my median is equal to 46 plus 50. That's become 96 divided by 2, which is also going to be known as 48. So on an average month, she spent $48 on food. From here, we're going to jump back to our textbook. We're going to put in our 48 that we have right here, check our answer, and the answer checks. It's that easy to do these problems. Stop the video now, get busy on your homework. Let me know what questions you have in class tomorrow.